Hello, my name is Brianna Lee, and I just wanted to come in and pretty much tell a little bit of my journey and my story because I think that sometimes people see, you on the other side, but they don't know everything that happened to get to where you are. So I'll start off in December of 2021. I had got COVID in December. So I brought 2022 in um, by myself in quarantine. And during that time, God began to speak with me about a lot of different things. But the biggest thing was Him speaking to me about having faith and quitting my job. Now, mind you, at the time I was 20 years old, no, 21 years old, and I was at a job where I was, making the most money I'd ever made, had my own apartment, car, like everything. I was just, living a single girl life. And God told me to trust Him and take a leap of faith. At the time, I had my real estate license, but I had not sold anything. Like, I really wasn't even focused on real estate. I was just, working. And so God told me to take a leap of faith and do it and to trust Him. So of course, I battled back and forth with myself, like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Like, what should I do? But I put my notice in. And the thing about it is, when I put my notice in, so many other opportunities were coming at me. They were offering me more pay, want me to stay longer, like all these different things to try to get me to stay. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust God. God was like, God, I know you're gonna do something great. I ain't gonna lack nothing. I'm gonna sell this $1 million house. Like all these things I was thinking. And so my last day was the beginning of February. So I left completely dependent on God. I had a couple $1,000s saved, but mind you, it was really nothing much, right? And so during this time, so much happened in 2022. I felt like my faith was tested like none other. I had to deal with the mental was the biggest thing in this challenge for me, is because when you're used to having money, you're used to being able to do the things you need to do, and then that's stripped away from you, and literally all you have is God to depend on you. I don't come from, a family that has, money they can throw here for rent, throw here for that. My mother, shout out to my mom, she helped me in so many ways. She was always there, helped me out financially when she could. Her words of encouragement, her prayers, um, everything. But during that time, I was so low. Like, I felt so alone. I felt like, God, I am listening to you. I heard what you told me to do, and I felt like I'm suffering. It was times I didn't even get out the bed. It was times I literally felt so low, and the closest people around me had no idea what I was going through. Like, literally, my mom was literally the only person until some time came. A couple other people know, but it was hard. And people, I feel like they don't always understand. They don't see that part. They don't see the tears. They don't see the, you know God always made a way, but there was still things that lacked. I my last paycheck was probably, I think, the beginning of March, and from there did not receive any other checks in 2022. My car, I still have my car by the grace of God. And the biggest thing, I think, was in August, I had got an eviction notice from my apartment, and I had to leave. And I was so scared. I felt so defeated. I felt like, how am I going to go back to my mom's house? And I worked so hard to be able to have my own, and to be able to have, just my own island, my own peace. And so I had to leave in August. And I remember, before I started packing everything up, I was like, God, if this is meant for, for me to leave here, show me, give me a sign. And I remember prior to that, I started breaking out in my body. Every time I would go into my apartment, I would break out. In the bathroom and stuff, I would just break out. And I had a dream, and literally in the dream, I fell asleep, and it was my apartment, but it was empty. It was completely empty, and the only thing was there was a suitcase that was in the living room. This brown suitcase I have. Everything else was gone. So I woke up and I was like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go. But I remember feeling so embarrassed, feeling like, what? Like, I'm trying, and at this, like, I'm young, you know what I'm saying? I'm 22 years old dealing with this, and it was hard. It was difficult. I felt like no one understood, because, like, you're crazy to go out here and get a job, like, all this stuff. But I was trusting in God. And even when I did try to apply, it wouldn't work. I would, like, it would always be something, because God was building up my stamina with faith. And I tell people, you know, when you are meant for something bigger, it's not going to always be easy. It's not going to always make sense. You're going to have to build that up. Sometimes it's going to feel like suffering, but you know you're suffering for your greater good. And I just want you to know that your testimony is a part of you. It's a part of your journey. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. Yeah, I lost my apartment. Yeah, I lost things. But what God has for me is going to be so much greater, because I stayed the test. Yes, sometimes I wanted to give up. God wouldn't let me give up. My mom would literally call me at times. If she couldn't get me, she would call Miss Annette to help pray for me. So many people. And then God would always send people in my life that would just give me encouragement, or would plant a seed, or would give me gas money. Always. God always made a way. I'm telling y'all, like, I can smile about this now, but it was so hard. 2022 was so hard for me. But I always knew, okay, Brianna, get up. Get up. Get up. You got stuff to do. Get up. Even when I wanted to give up, at times I would fall, but like, you know, I'm done with it. I'm done. Forget it. But something would not let me stay in that place. So I'm telling you, it's normal to have that when you're going through. It's normal, but you cannot allow that to be your reality forever. Feel how you feel your emotions, but never allow that to define, because God still has a purpose. And in that season, I can talk about hold on. I can talk about everything, because I've been there. I know what it's like to have bills on top of bills, and you're saying, okay, God, I trust you. I know what it's like to get multiple eviction notices. I know what it's like for your car to be so far behind. They're calling you. They're like, okay, do you have a payment? Do you have a payment? And even about that, God would always align me with the right people to call. When it comes to my car, it would always be nice representatives that would help me. They'll be, okay, can you do this amount? Even this little bit amount. Okay, let me see if I can put the payment to the back. It would always be things that people would do when it comes to this car to help. I'm telling you, like, when you are trusting God, God will always align you with the right people. Even in the background, I don't know them people. In the background, God will work miracles on your behalf. In the background, even when you don't see it, even when it don't make sense. So I'm telling you, trust the process. It's hard. I know you want to give up, but you didn't come too far to give up. Like, what would you gain from giving up now? Like, it literally makes no sense. Even now, I'm still going through my trials. I'm still, you know, trying to get where I want to be, but God made a way, and he always makes a way. So, oh, I forgot to say. So, my last paycheck of 2022 was in March. My first paycheck was in February of 2023. And God is so amazing, because literally it's funny how everything lined up. It was only a couple days away from my last day at that job when I got my first check of 2023. I'm telling you. And the way I met her was in an Uber, an all cash offer in an Uber. Come on. Like, God is amazing. And I'm telling y'all, like, just trust God. Trust him. Trust him at his word. Never give up. It don't matter if you're 21, 20, 35, 50, 60. God loves you and he honors you and he wants you to fulfill the purpose that you have. Only you can fulfill your purpose, nobody else. So trust God, trust the process, and everything will always work out. I'm telling you. And there's so much more to this, but this is just a quick summary. But I just want y'all to know, like, keep going, keep believing, keep trusting, because I promise you it's going to work out. It has to work out. God is not going to take you all the way over here to bring you all the way back. No, it's always a greater good. Even if it feels like it sometimes, stay the course, stay strong, keep pushing, because I promise you it is for a greater good. Okay? So y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.